There has been considerable speculation about the connection between Prince and Diddy, especially regarding the allegations Prince made about the music industry. It appears that a strange relationship did indeed exist, mainly due to Diddy's dealings with Warner Brothers, the same record label that Prince had long been in conflict with. Both Prince and Diddy had been accused of profiting from artists without compensating them fairly and blackballing them for speaking out. This issue became particularly heated during Prince's career, especially after he started recording his albums independently in his own studio, which led him to feel that the music he created should belong to him. The record companies, however, disagreed, constantly referring to his contract to hold power over him. Despite his desire for fairness, the companies were unwilling to change, as doing so would undermine their business model. Prince, like many others, ultimately sought better ways to collaborate without being exploited, especially when it came to owning and controlling his music. He emphasized that record companies should be viewed more as service providers rather than owners, similar to how FedEx delivers packages without claiming ownership of them. In addition, Prince allegedly let Diddy use his house for parties, although he himself never attended, possibly due to suspicions about the nature of these gatherings. One notable party Prince hosted for Diddy featured performances by Tyrese, while Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were seen swinging on swings, an atmosphere very different from other celebrity parties. The key difference was that Diddy didn't allow guests to bring their security, which made the event feel even more exclusive and mysterious. Furthermore, Prince was involved in a lawsuit against Jay-Z, who had been distributing Prince's music illegally on Tidal. The relationship between Prince and Jay-Z was complicated, as Jay-Z had once been close with Diddy, who was tied to the music industry giants. However, Prince's battle against these figures who exploited artists was ultimately a fight for fair treatment and recognition, as well as ownership of his own work. Prince's long-standing efforts to retain control over his music and challenge exploitative practices in the industry were at the core of his career. These battles reportedly cost him his life, with some fans speculating that Warner Brothers may have had a hand in his untimely death. Despite the controversies, Prince's efforts to stand up for artists' rights against major labels like Warner Brothers were well known and led him to famously write "slave" on his face during a period of tension with the label. His struggle to own his masters was further highlighted in interviews, where he revealed his intentions to re-record all his music after Warner refused to sell his masters back to him. By doing so, he aimed to create a second catalogue of his music, offering fans the choice to either support Warner or his own label, NPG. Ultimately, Prince's mission was to shed light on the industry's power dynamics and challenge the exploitation of artists by the very corporations that controlled their music. In various interviews and award shows, many people have questioned whether there was a link between Prince and Diddy, especially when considering the issues Prince raised about the music industry. It appears there was indeed a peculiar connection, partly due to the deal Diddy struck with Warner Brothers, the same label Prince had a long-standing feud with. Both Diddy and Prince were accused of profiting from artists without proper compensation and blackballing those who spoke out. This became a significant issue when Prince began recording his albums independently, feeling that he should own the music he created. The record companies, however, disagreed, holding him to a contract they argued he had signed. Despite his efforts to address the situation and seek fairness, the record companies refused to change, as doing so would undermine their business model. Prince's struggle for ownership and fair treatment eventually led to him fighting for a new way of operating in the industry. His commitment to standing up for artists' rights was so strong that in 2007, he took legal action against platforms like YouTube, eBay, and the Pirate Bay for unauthorized use of his music. Though Prince eventually regained control of his name and reached an agreement with Warner, his life came to an end under suspicious circumstances. At the age of 57, he was found unresponsive at his estate in Minnesota, and the official cause of death was determined to be an accidental overdose of fentanyl, which had been unknowingly taken through counterfeit Vicodin. His death raised questions, especially given his clean-living lifestyle and commitment to health. Reports indicated that Prince was health-conscious, a vegan, and had never been known to use drugs, which made his death even more perplexing. Weeks before his passing, Prince had shown signs of ill health, including cancelling shows and needing emergency medical treatment. Despite this, there were questions about why he wasn't under a doctor's care after allegedly overdosing just a month earlier. The lack of medical attention given his health issues seemed odd, especially considering the pressure to meet tour dates. In addition to these strange circumstances, Prince had been aware that forces within the industry might be targeting him. Before his death, he posted a message on social media hinting at his impending fate, and during his last public appearance, he told people to wait before offering any prayers for him. Many believe that Prince's death was not accidental, with celebrities like Kanye West suggesting that he might have been united or even silenced by powerful forces. Kanye West has often been compared to Prince, especially in his fight against the same industry forces that Prince had battled. Kanye is known for his independent stance and efforts to control his own career and business dealings, much like Prince did during his lifetime. In fact, Kanye even referenced Prince's son jail as a symbol of his own struggle against the music industry. As for Diddy, his involvement with Warner Brothers came through a joint venture deal, where the record company took a 50% stake in Diddy's Bad Boy Records. Under this deal, Warner handled the distribution and marketing of the label's music worldwide. Diddy believed this partnership was crucial for ensuring the financial stability of Bad Boy Records and its roster of artists, including Maze, Mario Winans, and the notorious B.I.G. Despite facing challenges, Diddy was confident that this financial backing would keep Bad Boy a relevant force in the music industry for years to come. Prince's lifelong battle against exploitation in the music industry mirrored the very practices Diddy was accused of inflicting on his artists. The list of artists Diddy allegedly mistreated is long, and Prince had similar issues with him. Before Diddy was hit with his first lawsuit, he began returning publishing rights to some of his former artists, including Biggie, who had signed with Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment in 1993. However, the returned rights were seen as worthless by those artists who felt Diddy had already drained all the value from them. Many former artists spoke out about their experiences, highlighting the unfairness of the system. They described how, despite years of hard work, they saw no substantial financial benefits, while Diddy amassed millions. They also pointed out that, unlike shows like Jersey Shore, which continued to generate income from reruns, their work never saw any lasting benefits. It's also worth noting that Prince likely knew about the unsavory behavior of Diddy's parties, particularly the freak-offs, and chose to distance himself. Jason Lee, for example, recalled attending the first Diddy party at Prince's house, where a peculiar rule stood out. No one was allowed to bring their own security. This was a stark difference from other celebrity parties, and it made the event feel more controlled and isolated. After the party, Diddy may have realized what was going on and subsequently cut ties with Prince. There's also the issue of Jay-Z's involvement with Prince. During Prince's struggles with Warner, he had initially placed trust in Jay-Z, believing Jay-Z cared about artists' interests. Prince worked out a deal with Jay-Z's streaming service, Tidal, but the situation quickly soured. In 2016, Prince's estate filed a lawsuit against Tidal, accusing them of copyright infringement for putting 15 of Prince's albums on the platform. The lawsuit stated that Tidal had only been granted a 90-day exclusive license for one album, Hit and Run, but the service uploaded multiple other albums without proper authorization. Tidal argued that they had received both written and verbal agreements for the rights to stream Prince's albums. However, Prince's estate disputed this, claiming the agreements were fabricated and backdated. They also accused Roc Nation, Jay-Z's company, of ignoring repeated requests for documentation supporting their claims. Many have pointed out that Diddy and Jay-Z are cut from the same cloth, with both engaging in questionable practices. Prince warned artists about the machine of the music industry, which he believed was embodied by figures like Diddy and Jay-Z. Ultimately, despite his efforts to expose these corrupt practices, Prince paid a heavy price, and his death remains shrouded in mystery. What do you think about Prince's attempts to expose the industry's exploitation? Do you believe these efforts played a role in his untimely death? Share your thoughts in the comments below.